Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me for the Tuesday morning live stream, Bitcoin Basics, where we try to stick to Bitcoin basics as much as possible. I'll kind of explain what Bitcoin is and how it works for the newcomers, and then I'll field questions. So, welcome everybody. Let's get this going. All right, so good morning. Thanks for joining me. I have a live stream on Friday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard where we cover more generalized topics. But you guys can drag me in any direction that you want. We try to stick to Bitcoin. But here we are. It's good to have everybody here this morning. There's a couple people that joined early. So I'll try to get your questions answered. Let me go over here and pop out chat. And let's see, let's move this over here. Let's go over here. Let's just open a new tab, start things fresh. Zia Omni, use a Ledger Nano X with a sync desktop wallet. Can I see everything too if I download VeChain Thor wallet and log in with my Ledger Nano X? Yes, you can. I think you're talking about the sync desktop, which I have. I can show you guys how that works. Let me greet everybody. Tony C is here. Good morning. Welcome. My views on you, Hodler, for an interest account that's paying a lot more interest than banks at the moment. Thanks. We'll talk about that. Good morning, Mr. David is here. Updated Ledger to 2.9.0 and firmware to 1.6.1 and the X. Are these correct? We can check. That sounds correct to me. I wasn't sure about the... I know that 2.9.0 is the latest version of the Ledger Live. I didn't realize that there was a small update to the Ledger Nano S firmware, but we can do that. John Papadopoulos is here. Good morning. Gino is here. It's good to have you. Richie Rich is here. Just lost all your XRP sent without the memo when I send to exchange. I can't help you with that. I've done it. I didn't lose everything, but I did. Mine was BNB, and I mistyped the memo. I had one digit missing. I think it's like a 15-digit number, and I had one digit missing. And once you send it, it's sent. It's gone, baby. I'm sorry to have to tell you that. But a lesson learned on my part. I promised myself I would never try to hand type a memo again. I lost about $200 worth of BNB on that one. I was sending it to CoinSwitch Pro and lost it. So yeah, there's nothing I can do to help you with that one, my friend. And don't let any hacker try to tell you that they can help you, because they can't. They'll just take your money. MSF Quaddle, how do I start investing in Bitcoin? I'm a beginner, then how to start? Well, I love that question. That's pretty cool. How do I get started with Bitcoin? Why don't we jump into that one? You guys kind of caught me off guard this morning. Caught myself off guard. Yeah, I was sitting here in front of the computer and my wife says, "Don't you have a live stream today?" And I was like, "Oh man." It was already like 9:05, 9:10, so I usually start this thing at 9. So I just scheduled it for 9:30. So let's start with Coinbase. I know that their fees are a bit high, but it's a great way for a beginner to start. A lot of people, it's real easy to buy crypto using your phone these days, but I like the website. I think it's a little easier for a beginner. I'm a little, when you're on your phone, everything is so small, but you can open a Coinbase account pretty easily. Coinbase.com. I'm just going to paste that in there. I'm so sorry to hear that, Richie. It happened to me, and it was like just a sick feeling in my gut for like 3 days. I know how it goes. Now, like I said, it's easy to get started with Coinbase. You just sign. I'm signing into my account, and I encourage you to enable two-factor authentication on your Coinbase account. Now, if you're a beginner, that might sound a little mysterious. It's not a requirement, but it is advisable to keep your account secure. So that would be my recommendation to get started buying crypto. You don't even have to figure out how to do a wallet or anything like that. It's real easy to just go in there, trade, and buy a little Bitcoin. Like you want to buy 50 bucks worth of Bitcoin or 100 bucks worth of Bitcoin. You're going to have to set up some kind of payment method, right? You'll do that when you open your account. You can connect it to your bank account. And you can connect it to a debit card. I suggest doing both. The bank will allow you to withdraw if you decide you want to cash out of your Bitcoin or whatever you buy, cryptocurrency wise. So that's always like an off ramp, so that if you need to get your Bitcoin out and back to your bank, you've got that. You can purchase with your bank too. It'll connect to your bank and draw money out of your bank when you make purchases, but it takes a few days to get the money into the account. It'll tell you that you bought the Bitcoin, but you won't be able to withdraw it until 3 or 4 days. Now the debit card option, you can see the amount is smaller. Your limit amount, the maximum amount that you can buy using that debit card per month or week or whatever it is lower, but you can purchase right away. So I like to have the debit card option on there. So that's it. Just open up a Coinbase account, and then you can just buy Bitcoin with the debit card. There's a little bit of a merchant fee there, but it's really easy. Now there's another platform that you can do called Crypto.com. And I have an affiliate link down in the description below for Crypto.com, right? That's this guy here. Now, when you click that, it'll take you to their webpage where it'll show you how to download their app. And when you download the app, they might ask you for a reference, and then you could say, "Oh, CryptoDad, that's my what do you call it? My link, my affiliate link, my reference code." Crypto.com, if you're more of a phone-based person, and it doesn't look like it's gonna. Oh, there it goes. Crypto.com is an app that you can download on your phone, and you can buy crypto with that right on your phone if you're more of a phone-based type person. Right, so once you get the app on your phone, you're going to need to add a credit card or debit card. Let's say we want to buy some Bitcoin here. I've got my debit card all set up, but it's not that hard to do. You just tap that little add debit card or credit card, and then you can make purchases right away in Crypto.com on your phone. And they're waiving fees right now, I think through the end of September. So that's another fast and easy way to buy Bitcoin, right? So I could buy, 0.05 Bitcoin right now. I can buy less. I don't have to buy that much, right? You can buy 0.01 Bitcoin, and then it gets stored in your app. Now, all that I've talked about so far is how to purchase Bitcoin. We talk more about storing Bitcoin on this, but we had a newcomer here and she wanted to know how to get started. So to get started, you need to just buy some using your own money, right? So those are two good ways to get started. Coinbase and Crypto.com, where you can connect your debit or credit card to buy Bitcoin. Now you can also connect your bank to Crypto.com as well. If you let's see, if you go to accounts, you can see there I've got a fiat wallet down there at the bottom. I can tap that fiat wallet, and you can see there's a little bit of money in there now. I don't use this one as much because it requires forethought, right? I have to move some money in there before I make my trades, and it takes 3 to 5 business days. So, but it's pretty easy. But the really good thing about the fiat account is in order to withdraw to your bank, you need that. So you would, same as Coinbase, connect your bank account, connect your debit card, and you're good to go, right? And then also with crypto.com, you can get one of their Visa cards. I don't know what all that's about. Their Visa cards get connected to your app, and then you can use your Visa card to make purchases. So it's an easy way to cash out. I like it. All right, so let's go to that sync question. This is the sync app. Now, this one's a little more advanced. We're talking about using our Ledger Nano X in this case. I'm pretty sure you can use a Ledger Nano S with this. Now I've got my Ledger Nano S connected, but I need to be in the VE Chain app. So I'm gonna turn on my side camera over here. I'm gonna zoom in, get this guy closer so you can see this is my Ledger Nano S device, X, pardon me. All right, so the first thing I'll do is I'll exit the Ethereum app. I was in the Ethereum app. And now I'm here at the desktop or home screen or whatever you want to call it. So we'll just navigate over to, what are we looking for? VE Chain. Where is that? Do I even have it on here? I think I do. There it is. So that's the VE Chain app. So I'll click that. Now that means that I've got a private key for VE Chain, or VChain, I guess they call it, on my ledger. Now that I'm in that app, I can go over here to the sync screen. I'll go to wallets, and then I've already set up my Ledger Nano X. So basically, if you haven't done so, you can click on that, and then it'll find your ledger and create an account. And as you can see there, I've got some VE Chain in this wallet. Now, the only thing about this wallet, the interesting thing is I've got this Thor that I can't move, right? I can transfer to an address, but only vet, right? There's no way to send the Thor out. So I think the question was, can I use the Thor wallet? Let's get back out here. With the same ledger, and will it see the same accounts? And the answer is yes. You can use any app you want to access the private keys that are on this device. So let's go ahead and do that. I think this one here, My Tokens. Let's see if I've done this right. Yeah, it is connected to the exact same ledger account, right? You remember the balance of 9,000. But in this one, I have access to the VE Thor, and I can send it. That amount of VE Thor is only worth like $3, so I haven't really done this yet. But I was curious about it. So I'm not sure if this is the same app you were talking about in your question, but it's a similar situation. And yes, multiple apps can access your private keys that are stored on your ledger. There are lots of different apps out there, wallets that are out there that will connect to your ledger, and they'll all connect to the exact same account, right? Oh, there's multiple. If you have multiple accounts, like if you're in, let's say you're in MetaMask or in something of that nature, you can still, there are multiple ways to connect to your ledger device. Even if you have multiple Ethereum accounts on your ledger device, you can connect to all of those, not all at the same time, but you can choose between which one you connect. So it's very versatile. There's lots of apps that can access private keys that are held on this device. I hope that answered your question. Let me go back to that question and acknowledge it was Zia Omni, and that was our first question of the day. a little bit before we even got started. So yes. Oops. Okay. Having trouble with my Windows this morning. Now, Tony C asked a question about uHodler. Now, I'm not familiar with uHodler, but there are a lot of online platforms that are coming around these days where you can deposit your cryptocurrency and earn interest, a lot more interest than you can banks. Now, there are a lot of decentralized ways to do this where you can deposit money and earn, or deposit crypto and earn money. You can stake Tezos, you can stake Tron, you can stake Cardano in your own wallet and earn interest. But there are other ways that you can't really do that with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not designed that way. But there are a lot of places where they'll let you deposit your Bitcoin in their platform and pay you interest. But that's a little different than staking within your own wallet. That is actually putting your Bitcoin in their care, right? That's like giving them your Bitcoin to hold. And, you know, for that privilege, they're willing to pay you interest. Exactly the way banks work. The only problem with that is that it's not as, you don't control the private keys anymore, right? You're trusting them with your crypto. Now, most of these firms are quite safe. You can earn interest on your Bitcoin in Binance. I believe Coinbase is going to start having those kind of programs where they'll pay you interest for deposits. BitFi, I think, is one of the big ones. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. But I've never heard of uHodler. So I don't know. Anyone that you're going to do, you want to check it out and make sure it's legitimate, right? You don't want... I got to respond to this. I'm working. Thanks, John. Have a good morning. You want to make sure that they're a reputable firm if you're going to trust your Bitcoin or whatever cryptocurrency you want to. Okay, and then Mr. David was asking about the Ledger Nano S. Let's get these out of the way. Okay. All right. I'm going to disconnect my Ledger Nano X. I'm going to connect my Ledger Nano S. And let's just go over and check out the latest version of the firmware and all that stuff, right? So I've got the Ledger Nano S. It's not connected there. There we go. All right. So I need to, this is my Ledger Nano S. You can see it's the smaller one with the buttons on the top, right? So we'll go ahead and enter our PIN first. My PIN, your PIN, our PIN. I try not to talk when I'm entering my PIN. I always screw it up when I do that. But I've been entering this PIN for 3 or 4 years now. You'd think I would have it down. You think I could do it in my sleep now. It's an 8-pin, 8-digit PIN. All right. So I managed to do that. All right. I've got it at its home screen. Right. I got Harmony 1. I've got Bitcoin. Got Ziquilla. Right. All right. So we need to stay at the home screen. We don't want to put enter anything right now. First of all, let's check up here in the settings what version I'm running. I'll go to About, and yes, Ledger Live, the latest version is 2.9.0 as far as I know. It's not telling me that I need an update, right? When you're in your portfolio, it'll tell you whether you need an update. All right, let's go to Manager. Now the Manager is where we can update the firmware, right? I'm going to hit Allow Ledger Manager. I'll hit both buttons there, right? Now once we're in the Manager, it'll tell you if I need an update. Oh, okay, I guess I already ran that update, 1.6.1. So that's the latest one. If it was not the latest one, it would tell you. It would say there is a firmware update available over here on the side. So if you see a firmware version and it's not telling you to update, then you're on the latest one. So we've confirmed that the latest version of the Ledger Nano S firmware is 1.6.1. So we're all good there. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect this. Whoops. I'll get out of this and then I'll disconnect it, right? And you can just yank it out of there. It's not gonna hurt anything. Hasn't done so yet. All right. All right. Let's see how we're doing here. Papa Tyga from Brisbane, Australia. CFI Randy. Good morning, Randy. Good to have you. Good to see you. Good to hear from you. Scott Lee is here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. MSF Qual, please simplify Bitcoin on simple language. Define, please, in simple language, like giving some example. Okay, so we talked a little bit about how you buy Bitcoin on Coinbase or crypto.com, all right? And in that case, we can think of it as a commodity, like a stock or a bond or something that you can purchase with your dollars and convert to that, right? You could think of it as a foreign currency as well, right? A lot of people, normal people don't usually do currency trading, but it is possible, and I don't know if you need a license or whatever, but it is possible to convert one currency to another. You could do it online, or you could run down to the airport in your neighborhood, or there's a lot of exchanges, currency businesses, where you could take your U.S. dollars and get pesos if you wanted pesos, or get euros if you're ready to go on a trip, right? So we could think of Bitcoin in that sense of something that I can buy with dollars and convert, right? In its simplest form, right? It's just, and it has value, right? And it also has a market price. It goes up and down, just like a stock would. If I run out and buy 5,000 shares of Disney stock, then I'm kind of hoping that in the long run that stock will go up and I'll make money, right? That's kind of the whole idea of that. But with currency, if we're going to think of Bitcoin more as a currency, you're generally not going to run down to the store or the exchange guy and buy a bunch of euros for your dollars with the intention of thinking that those euros will increase the value in relation to my dollars. You might, but in general, when you go down to get euros, you're probably going to go to Europe. You're probably getting ready to go on a trip to Europe. So you'll take a couple grand worth of US dollars and buy euros so that when you get to Paris or Rome or whatever, you'll have the local currency. You'll be able to spend money in their country. So it's kind of the same way with Bitcoin. We think about that is that I want to buy Bitcoin with my dollars so that I will have Bitcoin to interact over the internet with this new currency, right? I can send Bitcoin across the room or across the world with the same ease, right? It's completely digital. It doesn't weigh anything. There are no international barriers to sending. I can send Bitcoin to someone in Paris. I can send Bitcoin to someone in China as long as I've got an internet connection, right? Using my phone or my computer, I can send and receive Bitcoin, right? So that's kind of another aspect of what Bitcoin is. Now, if we want to get a little more complicated about it, Bitcoin is a decentralized digital currency that lives on the internet. It was created as a computer program. There is actually code that is maintained by a bunch of volunteers that runs the Bitcoin network. And what happens is there are nodes of the Bitcoin blockchain. Here we go. We're talking about blockchain now. Blockchain, it sounds, like what is blockchain? It's a ledger. That's all it is. Any business that runs has a ledger, right? In the old days, it was like this big, thick book where they put all their transactions. And then they could go back and look and see, do I owe so-and-so any money? Well, let's check the ledger, right? The same way, Bitcoin is like that. All of the transactions that have occurred across the Bitcoin network are all stored in this ledger. And now, where is this ledger, you ask, right? Is there one place where the holy ledger of Bitcoin lives? No. There are multiple copies of the ledger all over the world. What's holy about it, what's cool about it, is that there's not just one source, it's multiple sources, and they are able to sync with each other. So if a transaction occurs on one node, then or a block of transactions, let's just try to stay as accurate as we can. When a new block of transaction is mined, it gets copied onto the current state of the blockchain. Well, once a new blockchain has been updated to the current version, then it replicates itself across all of the nodes on the Bitcoin blockchain network. And this process is guaranteed by cryptography, by math, right? They use very advanced cryptography, which is only possible, cryptography is a new science. It's basically, was invented in the 1970s, or at least public key cryptography. Cryptography's been around since Caesar, the Caesar cipher. It's just coding your words. But the science of cryptography and public key cryptography was only made possible by high-speed computers. And so they're capable of doing these calculations and transformations. And so the integrity of the blockchain node is guaranteed by cryptography. So no one can go and put in a fake Bitcoin transaction because it won't jive. Like the math will immediately say, oh, this doesn't match the hash. Well, we're getting a little too advanced, but I hope that was a good explanation of what Bitcoin is, right? So if I have a Bitcoin wallet and I have Bitcoin in my wallet, I can send it to anybody anywhere in the world that has their own Bitcoin wallet, right? How to delete coins on Ledger Live. The trash can is gone. How do you delete coins? Okay. If you want to delete an account, let's say I decided I want to, which one is which? Oh, yeah. So let's say I want to delete this account, right? I go into the account, and then I go up to this edit account, and then I choose delete, and that gets rid of the account. I'm not sure which trash can you were talking about. If you want to delete, and that's a Bitcoin account, right? I'm not sure if you're talking about, say, an Ethereum account and you want to delete a token. In order to delete a token, I can go into the token account and do... Yeah, I guess you can't do that with ERC20 tokens. The only thing you can do with a token is hide it, right? So if I don't want to see the token anymore, I can right-click on it and choose Hide Token. But it's part of this Ethereum wallet. Now, if I want to delete the entire Ethereum wallet, I can do that. I can delete the Ethereum wallet, and the Ethereum wallet and all of these tokens won't be in Ledger Live anymore. They won't be gone, right? They'll still be stored. The private keys will still be stored on the Ledger device. They just won't be showing up in Ledger Live, right? The easiest way to, I don't know what you mean by delete, but the easiest way to delete a coin is to send it somewhere so that your balance is zero, right? I'm going to go ahead and reconnect this Ledger Nano X in case I need to show you guys something with that. Re-enter my PIN. All right, 6. I'm revealing my PIN as I type it in. Okay, last digit. There we go. All right, just in case. Let's see. Bitcoin is... Oh, sorry about that. There's more people here than I thought. Bitcoin is not... Okay. Satri, welcome. Good morning. Bitcoin is money that you can spend however you want. Nobody can stop you from transacting with it in the underlying tech makes it extremely secure. Very good. That's a very good definition of the way Bitcoin works. I mentioned that it's decentralized. We talked about the way the ledger is spread out. In that sense, it's always the integrity is verified, but it is also resilient in that sense, in that no one can destroy the blockchain. It's actually patterned after the original internet. For those of you who don't know the origins of the internet, it was created by the Department of Defense. I believe they called it the ARPANET back in those days. And it was a network of computers that were spread out across all the, not all of the cities, but major cities in the US. And the idea is that each node was interconnected to every other node. So it was like kind of a spider web of connections. And the original use of the ARPANET was so that if one city were obliterated with a nuclear attack, the rest of the cities would still be able to communicate with each other, right? It wasn't like they were all connected in serial, right? So that if like one city got blasted, all the rest of the cities wouldn't be able to communicate with each other. It was created so that all the cities were interconnected with each other with this computer network. And so that's the idea of a decentralized network, right? It's if all the nodes of this network were coming out of Washington, D.C., and then Washington, D.C. got hit, then the whole network would just fall apart, right? It would just be chaos. That's why they created this internet, this original internet, as an interconnected spider web of server connections. And that evolved and eventually oh boy, here we go. Okay. Okay, thanks. Are you having trouble delivering this? Question mark. I'm working. I gotta work, unfortunately. Ugh. Okay, that's kind of weird. Reclusive billionaire? Question mark. One of my drivers having trouble making a delivery. Okay, so we were talking about decentralization and how the internet got started as Department of Defense computer network, which and then the universities had their own network of interconnectedness so that they could share data and information, and these two entities sort of combined into one giant computer network, which we call the internet, right? And so the Bitcoin blockchain is very similar in that there are nodes all over the world on different devices that run this ledger and conduct transactions. And if somebody were to try and shut down nodes, they would have to shut down every single node in the world. Practically impossible task. That's why they can't really censor Bitcoin, because it is very resilient, right? There are nodes all over the world. So you might be able to block access to, say, like one country might be able to block access, but they would have to block internet access, right? So it's sort of like you can't stop people from accessing Bitcoin unless you completely stop them from accessing the internet, which is not practical, right? But let's just suppose, like a country like Turkey or Iran, like blocked internet access, so people couldn't access the Bitcoin network. Well, they might figure out a way to use VPNs on their phones to access the internet and thus get access to the Bitcoin network. So it's really tough to block access to Bitcoin network because there are so many nodes out there, right? It's a very basic way. Bitcoin is not physical, it's completely digital. That's good. I'm going to try and get caught up with you guys. Mining Bitcoins means using computers to solve math problems. The first miner that solves a problem will be rewarded with Bitcoin. That is how Bitcoin is created. That is also how the transactions are processed, right? The miner that discovers the block not only gets the Bitcoin reward, but he also gets all the little transaction fees for all of the transactions that he puts in his block, right? A block is basically, just a group of Bitcoin transactions, right? So Bitcoin equals Monopoly, Polkadot equals Park Place. Cirrus, thanks for the videos. Could you show us how to claim Bitcoin SV when we have Bitcoin Cash before the hard fork? I can't really do that. That's kind of complicated, and I'm not a huge believer in SV. And it's like too complicated of a topic for this video. All right, and I don't have any Bitcoin Cash or SV to claim, right? All the Bitcoin that I had was after the fact, right? He says he also opens the back, but I think I'm better off waiting here. Yeah, play it safe. My driver. I need to be a guest on the Joe Rogan Experience. That would be cool. That's a pretty famous guy. I don't know that he'd have anything to want to talk to me about, but I don't know. We'll see. I was thinking that Bitcoin was metal in the earth, and that people mined it. Now I know better. Right? Yeah, mining it's just a term that they use. You are basically kind of looking for something elusive, just the way a miner does, and you do discover it, by working. Bitcoin mining is using your computer processing power to solve complex mathematical puzzles, right? So, but what you discover is completely digital, right? And it is awarded by a computer algorithm that's built into the Bitcoin core software, right? We can look at the Bitcoin software. It's public, right? So we can go over to Bitcoin GitHub, and right here, right? This is the code repository of the Bitcoin core software, right? So any programmer can go download Bitcoin software and run it on his computer and look at exactly how the code works. It's open source. It's transparent, which is another great feature of Bitcoin in that that's not proprietary. Like Microsoft Windows is proprietary, right? I can't go into Microsoft Windows and check out their code and see exactly how it works, right? Because it's proprietary. They work on it at the company, and then when they're done coding, they convert it to computer language, right? And then once that's done, executable programming language, I can't read the code anymore, right? I can run it, but I can't read it. So I don't know if Microsoft has any backdoors built into it for all those spies out there that want to look at my transactions or what I'm doing on my computer. But Bitcoin, we know, doesn't have any backdoors built into it because it's open source. Anyone can review the code. And if there were any backdoors built into it, then they would have been discovered. Any coder can check it and see that it's pristine, right? The way it works, right? So it's pretty cool. I know it's a weird concept, right? It's completely, it's like a commune. Yes, yeah. Well, Michael G, once the live stream is over, it will stay posted on my YouTube channel. So you can go back to all of my live streams in time. It's pretty simple, right? I'm in my list, and you can see here that This one is live at the moment, but all of my live streams are available on my YouTube channel. I'm not sure how you would search for them. You might just do live stream Q&A and put in a date, right? Let's see if I can do it, right? CryptoDad live stream July 2020. Let's try that. Are we going to get it? Okay. July 18th, 2020. Let's try 19. CryptoDad live. What was that? Trump mentions Bitcoin, right? So there you go. You can search as many back as you want, right? I've been doing the live stream for like 3 years. You can always go back and watch them again. In fact, I think if you're watching this one now, you might be able to just, click back at the beginning and start it over, right? So yeah, they're there for all to see. All my screw ups. Hey, Gino gave me a nice little tip. Thank you, Gino. I appreciate that. Rogan recently endorsed BTC. About time. Cool. Thanks for the great show. Thank you, Dan. I was thinking the Bitcoin was a metal in the earth. Okay. All right. So we're back. Cannot wait for the quantum internet, right? All right. So I wanted to. I think what I'll do, if I can do this, is let's go to. Okay. Why don't we move some Bitcoin from one wallet to another, so you can kind of see that happening. Right? I do it from within my ledgers, so you can kind of see how an incoming and an outgoing transaction works. All right, so I have this Bitcoin main account, right? And this Bitcoin main account is native SegWit. So this is the newer format of Bitcoin addresses. So when I do a receive and I look at the address, it's right there. It starts with a BC1. All right, I'm going to take that address and I'm going to copy it into my clipboard. I could verify it on the device, but I'm just not going to go through all. I don't want to make it more complicated than it really needs to be. I'm going to go over here back to the account, and then I've got this Bitcoin account here that's got some Bitcoin in it. Now, if we look at this Bitcoin account and we do a receive, you'll notice the address starts with a 3. So this is the older format. Now, why should I have both accounts on in my ledger live, right? Why don't I just use the newer one? Well, the issue is that some cryptocurrency exchanges or outside entities don't support the new address format. So, for example, Ledger. Now, Ledger may support the newer format now. It's been a while. But I gave Ledger this Bitcoin address because they pay me in Bitcoin. And now there are also some cryptocurrency exchanges that don't support the newer format. So that if I want to make a withdrawal to my wallet, I need to keep this older format wallet around. Because if I try to put in a native SegWit address when I do a withdrawal from like Gemini or Bittrex, they'll say, invalid address. All right. That's why I keep this older one around. So I got some money from Ledger a few days ago, and it came into this wallet. So let's move it into that newer wallet. If you remember, we went over here to Bitcoin main, we did receive, and then we looked at the address and copied it into our clipboard. So let's go back over to this where are we? Oh yeah, the SegWit account, and we'll do a send, and I'll paste in the Bitcoin address. Notice that the my SegWit account on my Ledger Live is capable of sending to a newer formatted account. That's fine. That's interoperable, right? But there are some exchanges and some places that you try to give them this BC1 address, they don't like it. They don't support it yet. So just, I don't know. which you compare it to. Some people don't have, back in the 90s, right? You would go to some business and you would say, hey, do you have an email? I'll send you this document. And they'll go, I don't know what an email is. Oh, I got a fax machine. So you'd send it a fax, right? So it's kind of the same thing, right? Some people don't get it, or some people don't support the newer formatted address, right? They need you to fax it to them, right? So I'm going to go ahead and just send the maximum amount of Bitcoin. And when I hit continue, what's going to do? It's going to give me an overview of the transaction. It's going to tell me where I'm going to send it to, and I'll hit continue. Now, here's where the ledger security comes in. They're telling me, well, you want to sign we need you to sign this transaction. So first of all, you need to get into the Bitcoin app on your device. So I'm going to go over here. Just going to navigate with the buttons, right? Until I get to Bitcoin. When I'm on top of Bitcoin, I'll hit both buttons, right? Then I go in there, and it takes it a minute, and it's going to read the private keys of my Bitcoin wallet, right, that are stored on this device, right? Now it's saying, okay, this is the right device for this account. I want you to review the transaction with the buttons. Here's the amount. Here's the address you're sending it to. And do you wish to accept? And if I say yes, it will perform a mathematical operation. It will cryptographically sign the outgoing transaction. I did that. Now it wants me to confirm the small fee that I'm incurring on the Bitcoin network. That's what the miners are earning, right? It's a community project, right? It's not completely free to use because we need to reward the people that are actually running this network, right? A lot less than your bank account. Now I can choose view transaction, and it'll show me the transaction. And I can even hit view and explore, and I'll see it on the Bitcoin blockchain, right? So all of this is completely transparent. Let's go back over here. It actually happens fairly quickly, right? It's showing that the balance is 0 in this wallet. And then I can go over to accounts here and go over to my SegWit wallet, and I can see that the transaction has shown up here. It happens really fast. It's not completely confirmed on the blockchain yet, because you can see it says unconfirmed. If I look over here, it says not confirmed, which just means that it's not spendable yet. This is part of how the Bitcoin blockchain works. It needs time to confirm. Now you might say to yourself, oh, that's kind of weird. Why is he sending Bitcoin, between his own two wallets, right? Doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, what's the point of that? Well, there's really no point to it besides me just giving you a demo, right? You want to imagine that this is your Bitcoin wallet somewhere. And what if this was your Bitcoin wallet? How would I send you Bitcoin, right? Well, we would pretty much do the same thing we did before. We would hit receive. We would get that Bitcoin address, copy it into our clipboard, and then what? Well, okay, now maybe I email you my Bitcoin address, right? So let's say we open up a Bitcoin, or we open up an email, right? I do a compose, right? And I to my good friend so-and-so, right? And I'll say my address. It's 2 S's, right? And I'll paste that guy in there. There's my Bitcoin address. I'll send it to you, or you'd send it to me. And then now that I see that Bitcoin address in that incoming email, then I would paste that Bitcoin address into my send, right? So anyone from anywhere in the world with a Bitcoin wallet can send me their Bitcoin address, and then I can send them Bitcoin from my wallet to their wallet, across the room or across the world. So the only reason I'm kind of doing it between my own 2 wallets here is to kind of give you guys an overview of how a Bitcoin transaction works. So there are a lot of regular viewers of my channel, and they're probably saying, I've seen him do this 1,000 times, right? But I do this kind of for the people that are joining us new that want to get a feel for how Bitcoin works. Now, we could do the same thing. I could do a receive here, continue, get that Bitcoin address, and go over to an exchange, right? We were talking about Coinbase earlier, right? If I, and I need to log back in. They logged me out. Let me get my two-factor here. Well, my driver was able to make that delivery. That's good. All right, so if I had some Bitcoin in here, I don't at the moment, but if I did, let's see, I would go to my Bitcoin portfolio and do a send, right? I would send my Bitcoin to my wallet, right? So we talked earlier, the most basic way to deal with Bitcoin is to buy it on an exchange. It's like a commodity or a stock, but they be holding it on your behalf. It's not really your Bitcoin until it's in your own wallet. That's a little more advanced. But you take your wallet address, you go to your account, and you tell Coinbase to send to your own wallet. And it will move from Coinbase's blockchain address to your blockchain address. And then you will possess and hold that Bitcoin. All right. Let's see if there's any questions that are going on here. Gino, thank you again for that. I really appreciate it. Did you know Putin recently recognized official BTC as a unit of value? You mean Putin? Putin? Putin. Okay, yeah. Later. Cool. Officially recognized Bitcoin as a unit of value. That's pretty cool. A lot of changes have occurred over the last few years as far as Bitcoin is concerned. A lot of adoption, good adoption news, a lot of official recognition, official, relaxing of the regulations. I don't know what there was a lot of bad blood between governments. If you remember, we were just searching for that live stream from July of 2019. Trump mentioned Bitcoin in a bad way, right? He was like, he criticized Bitcoin. And that was kind of, and Warren Buffett criticized Bitcoin a couple years back. He called it rat poison squared, right? But now there's an article saying that Warren Buffett's company might actually be purchasing some Bitcoin. Maybe not Warren himself, but the people that work for him that manage, his Berkshire or Hathaway form or fund, right? So a lot of people are coming around to Bitcoin these days. It's not as fringe as it used to be. All right, August Brandt, do you think the best platform to buy crypto? I've tried Gemini. It has some really weird rules, especially if you're a medium to large investor. I like Coinbase, but I think one of the best ones for big investors is probably Binance. But if you're in the U.S., you might not be able to get a Binance account. There is Binance US. There's Coinbase. We mentioned there's Bittrex. I don't really know what the best platform is for a medium to large investor because I'm a small investor. So, but you need an on-ramp, right? I like crypto.com, the phone-based app that I talked about earlier. That's a good platform for, and they cater to pretty large investors, right? So, all you need is a bunch of money in your bank account and in your fiat, you deposit it in your fiat wallet and you can buy large amounts of cryptocurrency on crypto.com, right? So you might want to check crypto.com out. And my affiliate link is down there in the description below. I think I pasted it up here earlier, the crypto.com uh, Rex Nisley affiliate link. So I don't know about Gemini. I've worked with some friends that were using Gemini, and it is a little quirky. Um, but I guess it's part of it is that it has to be compliant with New York. It's one of the few that is licensed to do business in New York, right? I don't think Crypto.com is. I'm not sure about Coinbase. I know that in the past, Coinbase is not available in New York. I think in Hawaii too. There's a few states that are not compatible with, or that don't allow it, right? And Binance US uh, has, there's like 10 states that it's not available in, right? So it just depends on where you are. But I think crypto.com is available in almost every state. I'm not sure. Maybe it's Florida and New York are the two that you can't use crypto.com. But anyway, thanks for all the info you put out. I'm having issues with Monero, GUI. Do you know anyone that knows the system or how to troubleshoot? Yeah, Monero is a little difficult to deal with. I think one of the main problems with Monero trying to get the wallet installed is that uh, your antivirus and your malware object to it, because traditionally, hackers will install Monero wallets on people's computers and mine Monero serendipitously. So even when you try to download the legitimate Monero GUI wallet, your computer rejects it, thinks it's a virus. You got to like whitelist it and do all kinds of crazy stuff. Sometimes you got to download it again because it gets deleted right as you run it. So it's a little difficult to deal with. I have some videos on the Monero wallet. Uh, it's kind of a thick topic, but let's see the latest one. Let's see. I'm just trying to figure out which.
Hey guys, Crypto Dad, and today I'm going to
May 22nd, 2018. That's probably a good one. I'll just give you that. There's probably a newer one. Let's go to, I think we were looking at my videos here. Let's do Monero. Okay. All right, so that's the newest one. Update, Carmen Chameleon. Yeah, so I got a couple here. So let's just do that. I'll paste those. Come on, what are you doing? What happened? That's weird. Okay. Let's go back. I'm just going to do that. That's probably the newest one that covers the latest version of the Monero wallet. It's a step-by-step. I'll throw this one out too. Doggone it. Here's one from October of 2019. How to buy and store Monero on a ledger. So those will get you started. What's next for Bitcoin? 12K? I don't know. I hope it keeps going up, personally. But I'm not I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a licensed practitioner. Isn't that what Stuart Smalley used to always say? I'm not a licensed practitioner. But I am a member of several 12-step organizations. So, and I'm not a prognosticator, right? I don't know the future, but I do hope that Bitcoin does continue to go up. What are we doing over here? Let's take a look at where we stand right today, just to, get our bearings here. Here's our coinmarketcap.com. Looks like Bitcoin's down a bit today. It was like at 12.4 yesterday. So now it's down. It's still over 12, so that's pretty good. It may not stay over 12 today. Who knows? This is ban token. Huh, that's interesting. DeFi projects. Complete quiz and earn. Wow, that looks interesting. Probably have to give them something, right? Some information so they can send me ban. Ethereum's down off its high. It was like 440 a few days back. XRP's kind of holding steady. Everything's kind of down today. Chainlink's down. So it's kind of a pullback day. But that happens in the crypto world. You're going to have red days. You're going to have green days. Yesterday was quite a good green day. When I woke up, almost all of the altcoins were up, right? Almost to all-time highs, right? And then Bitcoin went up. And when Bitcoin went up to like 12.4, which was like, I don't know, a $600 gain, the altcoins kind of pulled back. Now, I don't know, there's people from the outside buying Bitcoin, but a lot of the people that know about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are sort of in the system. So if you think about it, it's kind of a closed system in the sense that when the altcoins get higher, sometimes they'll sell off, and the people that are selling their altcoins are buying Bitcoin. It just depends on the situation. There are other times where Bitcoin runs up really high, and then people that have and hold Bitcoin have made money. People that trade Bitcoin, they're going to take those gains and like push them into altcoins. So you'll see like this back and forth going on. So when Bitcoin goes up, sometimes the altcoins take hits. And when the altcoins go up, Bitcoin stays the same or stagnates a little bit or goes down a little bit. So it's kind of a push-pull system, right? For those of you who are uninitiated. Now, I'm not one of those day trading type guys, but I do kind of watch how the market moves because I like to keep an eye on my investments, my long-term investments. So I see these patterns emerging in the cryptocurrency market, right? But, it's like anything. You can be a day trader guy trying to get in and out of trades and make money on the fly. You expose yourself to risk when you do that. You might get on the wrong side of a trade and end up losing. Or you can be a long-term hodler type who just purchases coins on a regular basis and holds on to them. It might take a little profit at some point, but you're not going to be in and out of trades all day trying to get rich quick, right? Because you might get rich quick, or you might get, devastated being on the wrong side of a trade. It's entirely up to you. All right, and then there are a couple more questions here. Been using Gemini in the beginning. The terms were okay, but now plus the limitations on amounts to be converted to fiat, and the costs are not very good. So as you see, seeking an alternative, right? So Michael G, I would recommend crypto.com for one, and then maybe Coinbase. But I don't know where you're living. If you're in New York, your options might be limited. So hopefully I helped with that. Am I always on a VPN when I'm transferring BTC to others? You don't have to be on a VPN. You can if you want to be. Bitcoin will still work across a VPN. It's just that your privacy is a little better when you're using a VPN. But no, I don't specifically turn on my VPN when I want to transfer Bitcoin to people. Yeah. Oh, you're in Bulgaria. Okay. All right. So there may be other limitations you might encounter in Bulgaria, right? You might try Binance if you're in Bulgaria. Try Binance.com. Binance is one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world, and you probably are eligible to sign up for Binance. You probably like Binance. It's basically it was originally based in China, and now it's like in Malta and a couple other places. So you might have it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of for advanced people. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It's a little bit advanced, although their interface has improved over the years. so that it's much easier to, navigate and figure out what's going on. So I would highly recommend Bitcoin if you're in Bulgaria. I'm pretty sure you're eligible to sign up for Binance from Bulgaria, right? They don't they shut out people from the U.S. because of the SEC and the regulations, right? They don't want anybody, U.S. regulators, going after them, so they don't allow people from the U.S. to use their platform. They have Binance US for the people in the U.S., right? But Binance proper, the big one, it like has a lot of coins that you're not going to find on Binance US or Coinbase or Gemini, right? So if you're looking for a better selection of coins than Binance and larger limits and things like that, I believe if you verify yourself, verify your passport, your identity, and everything on Binance, then you get pretty high trading limits, right? Okay, cool. Oh, Michael G has Binance in Jersey. Binance Jersey. Okay. Okay, guys, thanks for joining me. Sorry I got started a little late. Forgot about that I had to do this morning. But I like to, stay devoted to you guys and do these live streams on a regular basis. So don't forget, I do the live stream on Saturdays, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join me for the live Q&A from Michigan, where you can throw out questions. I'll do my best to get them answered. Hope to see you there. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me, and hope to see you again soon. Sly B wanted help. Ally Bank does not. I was going back to see if you had a question. I don't see it. So anyway, have a good night, guys. A good day.